are you responsible for your child's happiness? It's interesting. Of all the wishes I think I have moms share with me, often it comes down to, I just want my child to be happy. And, when our kids are happy, generally we are happy. But the question is, are we responsible for our child's happiness? And if we do think we're responsible for our child's happiness, can that be a problem? I believe yes. If you have a child who ever says, this is the worst day ever, I hate myself, I hate you, I hate life, and you go into freak out mode, or you are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm the worst mom ever, I'm failing my child as a mother. Who here can relate to that? Believe you me, in my Facebook group, Stubborn Child Solutions Facebook group, I get moms sharing this weekly with me that somehow they feel like they are failing their child. Years ago, I remember feeling that way, and it is one of the worst feelings in the world. So I have got a great question from Angel, one of my members in the Stubborn Child Solutions Facebook group. And I want to share her back and forth that we had through Messenger today. I do wish I knew what to do so that my 8-year-old doesn't hate today, or this is the worst day ever day if he doesn't get his way or what he wants. Now, if you have a stubborn child, maybe your child says this, that's the worst. I can't believe I can't get that cookie I want before dinner, or I can't go to my friend's house when you promised me. And even if you say, no, I promised you yesterday, and that meant you had to clean your room first, this is the worst day ever. And maybe they'll go into a big drama. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and Tracy, she said she remembered her son when he was younger doing this. And she would say, what would she say? He would say, this is the worst day ever. And she said, so far, guess what? There might be other ones, even worse than this. Now, the thing about Tracy is she could say this to her son because she's, number one, got a big sense of humor. And number two, she knew that a lot of his posturing and drama was just that. It was drama. And the truth is that our kids are, they're great observers. They're not great interpreters yet. And in the moment, they can feel so much of their emotion where it's like, whoa, it's the worst day. And then half an hour later, they'll be like, so number one, I want you to take this with a grain of salt sometimes if your child is saying this, and to really ask what's behind them saying it. Is it just a moment where they are just unleashing all this emotion because they have so much passion in their life? Or is there more to it? And this is the question I would also have for Angel. So let's go back to what Angel had to say here. She says, I used to try to make his day better, but that never worked. So now it's gotten to the point where I just give up because he says it every day. Now I usually says he hates every day that he doesn't want to get that he doesn't get what he wants. What bothers me most is that it makes me feel like I'm not giving him a good life. And this is where I want to stop. Is it our role as mothers to give our child a good life? Now, of course, most of us as loving moms want to give our children the best life they can have. However, I don't know about you, but did you grow up with the best life? I didn't. As a child, I grew up with a mother who had pretty severe mental health issues, and I've turned out pretty happy. And so I think sometimes we think, oh, if we give, our role as mothers is to give them a happy life. I would argue that our role as mothers is to help our children learn how to create their own happy life. And what we're in the process of doing is supporting and nurturing happy future adults, which sometimes mean our child won't be happy, which I believe is a really good thing. Because the more they can practice resilience, the more they can learn that really it's their attitude to almost anything that determines the outcome, that determines whether a day is good or bad. People throughout history have proven this, that it's not what happens to us, it's what we think about what happens to us. It's what we do with what happens to us. Think about Helen Keller, who was mute, blind, deaf, and think about all that she was able to do in her life. There's an amazing story, a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was a man who found love in a concentration camp. Now, there was a great Oprah quote. She said here, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. And the sooner we help our children see this, I feel like the better they will fare in life. The world is a crazy place. And deciding how we're going to react to it, how we're going to respond to it, is our point of choice. It's our point of power as well. I just want you to think about your child, that when they're go into like, I hate it, or I hate you, or this is the worst day ever, it's really easy to take it personally. And depending upon our own triggers, our own past hurts in our life, for that mom Tracy I told you about, she could just like water off a duck's back. It's nothing. But for Angel, when I'm hearing from her, it's a point of trigger, and we all have those. Tracy will have her own, but they'll be different. And this is our opportunity to look at, what is this bringing up for us? Because oftentimes it's a place that needs to be healed that we haven't yet looked at. And I really believe that on those days where we think everything is the worst, that is the time where we as parents can help our children look at what's their free will here? What's their self-dominion? Do they want to continue to stay there? Do they want to stay stuck there? Or do they want to move on? What do you think about what I'm saying? Do you actually feel it's your role to ensure your child has a happy childhood? Or do you believe or are wondering if it's not to help support them in becoming a happy adult? And I'm going to leave you with one really important question at the end of this in a few minutes when I close here. So I want you to stay with me, because I feel like this question determines whether or not and how well you are going to support your child in really becoming a happy future adult. So I just want to finish up on Angel's question here. She said, I feel extremely responsible for him thinking he doesn't have a good life. We try to provide things he wants as well and keep up with the things he needs. He has a better life than I did as a child. He is most happy when he gets to play outside or go to his grandparents' house, which live literally right next door to us, but they're on vacation right now. What's the story we're telling ourselves when we start to feel like we're failing our kids? Excuse me. Bless me. And is like, when you hear that this woman is trying so hard, is she failing her child? Can you feel the love she has for her child? Like, I don't doubt that for a second, and I'm sure you don't as well. The part I would invite her and you to look at is, are you taking too much responsibility for your child? Sometimes we start to take so much responsibility, we choke out any space for them to carve out their own path. And if you have a stubborn child, stubborn children love to carve out their own path. They need extra room to figure things out, to try things, to fail in things. But if you are caring more about their happiness than they are, I would argue the chances of them being truly happy is going to be slim to none. They have to care about it. They have to figure out what makes them happy and how they can shift their thoughts and their actions that support their happiness. So I want to hear from you. If you've got questions on this, please share below, reach out to me. So I want to leave you with this. My question for you is not whether you're creating a happy, healthy home. My question for you is, are you doing what it takes to be the happy and healthy mom? Are you? Because this is one of the most profoundly radical, amazing things you can do for your child. It is the gift. It is the work that I feel all moms have to do, because kids watch what we do far more than they listen to what we say. And if you are stressing out, so worried about them having a great childhood, but are exhausted to the bone, stressed out, anxious, depressed, that isn't showing your child what a happy, healthy adult is. You deserve that, and they do too. On behalf of your family, if you haven't heard this lately, thank you for all you do as a mom. I know it is sometimes a tireless and often thankless job, and I thank you. Love to connect with you. If you're not a member of the Stubborn Child Solutions Facebook group, I invite you to join me over there and connect with me. Take care. Bye.